Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. We got a couple things to talk about. Price of Hex is pumping. We have more influencers covering Hex. We have Altcoin Daily tweeting about it. And we got some clarifications of the Pulsechain update. We also have an article by Protos talking about Richard Hart followers are losing faith in Richard Hart. So is that the case? We're going to get into all that today. But what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Metastaying? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support, man. Metastaying is a Patreon. Just a reminder, you too could be a Patreon. Link is in the description. You get courses, meetings, Discord, DMs, awesome things. Join the community of like-minded people and become a Patreon today. But we'll just get into the Bitcoin chart first. Bitcoin is at 23,485. Trading view is working again. Some technical difficulties yesterday, but it's looking like it got rejected by this 24,671, and also it is getting support right over here. Got some good support on this line at 23,483. So it's probably going to keep going between support and resistance before maybe it breaks up. But another thing that maybe you notice is that there is a massive bearish divergence is continuing. If you look at the RSI, there's a higher high and then a lower high. And here there is a lower high and then a higher high. So it just keeps on playing. It started and then it kept on going. So the pump's looking like kind of weak, kind of forming a rising edge, a wedge over here. So maybe we're going to have a pullback all the way down to 19,715. But maybe not. So I don't know. Maybe it'll come back down, let's say to $21,000, $20,000. I could see that kind of thing happening. Or maybe it'll go all the way back down to 11K and pray. I don't know. Maybe the Pulsechain launch, maybe the Pulsechain V3 will mark the confirmation of the bottom for Bitcoin in the cycles. How about that? You guys like that? You guys like that answer? Pulsechain is going to mark the start of the bull market. Certainly is on that trajectory in some ways, because influencers cannot stop talking about Richard Hart and Hex and Pulsechain launch and everything like that. We're going to get into that today also. We had a good bit on that yesterday. But yeah, that's really that for Bitcoin. Let's check out the Hex chart. Wow, look at that. Respect the pump, as Ivan on Tech says. Respect the pump. That's very indicative of Ivan on Tech, who's now a Hexagon or Pulsechain, whatever. He's a winner because winners respect winners. And he respects the pump. So, yeah, we had that pullback right to that support at 5.3 cents. And now we're headed back up to retest the resistance, the 7-cent resistance. Are we going to confirm that 7-cent resistance? And then go all the way up to 18 cents. But yeah, this recovery here was the testnet V3 tweet by Richard Hart saying the bug was solved and things are going back to the usual. But if you look at the correlation, and Crispy Man talked about this, so I like that he talked about it, but it looks very decorrelated. I think Pulsechain kind of created a bit of a decorrelation, which is awesome. So if you'd ask me, it's looking pretty decorrelated. Maybe Bitcoin goes back to 11K and Hex is 50 cents, but I doubt it, if I'm being honest. I think we need a little bit of a we need some sort of a strength for Bitcoin in order for Hex to keep going up. But looking really good on the Hex chart. Massive cup and handle pattern. And according to the TA, if we break above the cup and handle, then we have what? We have a target of 11 cents. I'm going to leave that there. Look, this is the cup. This is the cup, and this is the handle. Cup and a handle. We also had a cup and a handle. So we had a cup and a handle within the cup and a handle. We actually broke out of that. So I don't know. It's kind of like what Johnny said about the clouds, where you kind of just see what you want to see. No, but seriously, let's go. Hopefully we're going 11.2 cents. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, obviously. And crypto bubbles, the altcoin market. Where is Hex? Hex was one of the biggest gainers yesterday. Crypto Rand talked about it. Right now, not too big. 0.9 cents. AGI, XCM, IMX. Those are your biggest ones for you. But yeah, what about Hex daily stats? Hex daily stats. We got payout per T-share today so far 6.341. 1,110x from all-time low. And yesterday's payout was 6.3 per T-share. Not as good as 12 like a couple days ago, but not bad. And wow, 294 change in current holders and 43 change in current stakers. Wow, 294. Look at these numbers we're pulling, guys. Look at these numbers. But we are also almost at 120,000 stakers. So that's awesome. 120,000 stakers. And a lot of that has come during the bear market. So congratulations to all you guys that are here. Because here is where it's at, right? Here is where it's at. But yeah, that's it for the Hex daily stats and the Hex chart. We're gonna move on soon, but let's just say hi to the chat. What's going on, Cookie de Chocolata? Morning Furu, I need some moon math and a hopium. Dude, I shouldn't even have to give you hopium. Just the fact that I'm here should already tell you what I think, right? The fact that I'm here every day talking about this should tell you that I'm pretty bullish, right? Right, Brandon Macy? So, yeah. So, what's it called? So, just the fact that I'm here and here every day is indicative that I'm very bullish. But you want just I don't even need to make up stuff to pump it up. I'm saying the onboards, we got 249 yesterday. That makes a difference in the price. Pulsechain V3 is coming out. That makes a difference in the price. Pulsechain's launching. That makes a difference in the price. And what else is there? I'm saying, Fed's inflation coming down makes a difference for the price. All these things, when I say make a difference, it's for the positive. Bitcoin halving coming up makes a difference for the price. You are in the most engaging community. That makes a difference to the price. Getting hundreds of million, tens of millions of views on TikTok with the Hex hashtag makes a difference for the price. Every influencer, BitBoy Crypto, loading up on it makes a difference for the price. Every influencer, including Altcoin Daily, now talking about it makes a difference for the price. I mean, what more do you want, man? What do you need from me? What do you need from me? I'm here. You think I'm gonna, put myself out there in a community that I don't strongly believe is going to make me life-changing wealth? I don't think so, man. But I hope that helps, Mr. Macy. What is your realistic price predictions for PulseX at the top of the bull market? No moon by. There's nothing realistic. A price prediction in itself, me being able to tell you what a price is going to be, is not realistic. That's, I mean, that just is what it is. But I think it could do hundreds. After saying that there's no way for me to predict price, I think it could do hundreds of X's. Okay. And I have a lot of PulseX. How are you going to get euphoric without some hopium, man? Wouldn't be prudent. No, if anything, if I want you to get euphoric, I tell you that it's over, that, we're not going to get much. Because then once we get, well, then you might actually sell. But if you're stake, once we get it, it'll be that much more. But yeah, no, I hope that gave you your dose of hopium for the day. Was that good hopium? Level-headed hopium? And Susie Q, hi, amazing. Yep, another day closer to Richard Hart glory days. Yes, absolutely. So true. So true. Word, love position. I'm a degenerate hopium addict. Well, listen, I'm glad to help you with it. Okay, I'm glad to help you with the hopium. And I've been there, and we could all use hopium. Even me. Even the people making the streams could use hopium from other people. And maybe the hopium even helps pump bags. So yeah, I mean, that's that for that. Next thing is up, we got this guy, Nordic Hex. I said to make TikToks, and Nordic Hex took action. And he started making some pretty good TikToks of Richard Hart. He's got 60 followers. You guys should all give him a follow. So I was in the Hex TikTok YouTube Shorts group, which I'm sure you're all in, because TikTok is obviously where it's at. It is the key to virality in 2023. It's organic and it's free. So you guys should all be in there. And actually, let me share the group with you guys while I'm at it. Whoops. We got 310 members, all creating and sharing their TikToks. But yeah, here's the link in here. Click the link and get in the group and start making TikToks. Because that really makes a difference. It's more effective than hopium. But yeah, Nordic Hex, I said make TikToks. Nordic Hex delivered on the TikToks. I said I'm going to share your channel because I like what you were doing. I'm going to share it during the stream. And he's like, could you share my Twitter too? I'm like, you got to get 10,000 views if you want that. 10,000 views and on a given TikTok, and I'll share your Twitter. And he did. And he messaged me, and I'm a man of my word. So he's probably got a lot of new onboards. He's doing a great job. So you can go follow him at Johan Gulek on Twitter. Whoops. Bad. Gonna even share that in the in the chat. Oh, and we got someone joined. Thank you very much for joining, Junior. Twitter, I am Johan Gulek. So go check that out. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. and go follow him on Twitter. To diversify or not diversify, that is the question. Should one swap their other cryptos for Hex? I'm just happy I'm in a stake at the end of the day. What other cryptos? I mean, it really depends on if you, I mean, do you believe in those other cryptos as much as Hex? Because if you really believe in them and you have reason to believe in them, then you should probably hold them. But if you don't believe in them and you don't have reason to believe in them and you're just holding them because some guy on Twitter told you to hold it, then you might want to reconsider and just swap it for Hex. Right now, I'm all in on Hex. That's just me. And obviously, I sacked for PulseX and I got some liquid to buy Pulse, but I'm not diversifying. Why would I diversify if I mean, this is what I see as the opportunity, but other people have other opinions, and there's certainly going to be other cryptos that do very, very well. But the question is, are you going to get them? And you're probably not. I mean, unless you really go deep, you're probably not going to get them. It's very hard to get them, and a lot of it's random. Like, there's no way of knowing. Like, you don't have the metrics that you have with like Hex and stuff like that. But yeah, that's up to you. But you could book a call with me in the description. And I hope that answers it. That I'm all in. Yeah, I have some ETH. I've been DCAing into ETH for gas fees to unstake into unlock my stakes on Ethereum now while it's cheap. So that's really it. It's just Hex and Ethereum. So hey, Furu from England, watch a few lives, but maybe not enough. Do you ever discuss simple strategy for Hex, PulseX? I'm going blind trying to find decent material to view. Well, I mean, there's no simple strategy because everybody is different, right? So it's like, did you get in on the Pulse sacrifice? Did you get in on the PulseX? Maybe you got in the PulseX and not the Pulse. Maybe you didn't get in on any. Do you have a staking ladder? I mean, which one do you like most? I mean, nothing's really that simple. But I want to hold all of them, and I discuss with my patrons. I actually haven't discussed that yet because we've been doing a lot of courses and meetings. But one of the things I'm going to do is just, tell them about my allocation of Hex, PulseX, because that's all I own, and maybe ETH. But you could book a call with me as well in the description. But I want all of them. Thumper Terry, what would you consider a decent bag of Hex? A decent bag of, it depends. It depends on, my decent bag of what I consider a decent bag of Hex would be negligible, to someone that got in on day one, that has, thousands of T-shares. So, I mean, it depends on everybody. But I would say you don't want to buy more Hex than you could afford to lose. And everyone says that. So it doesn't really, it's nothing novel, but it is really true. But yeah, we'll get back to your chats. Just leave them there. And I'm going to just move on some of the news. There's not much, so feel free to leave a chat. But we got Altcoin Daily. Altcoin Daily, I guess after literally, I don't even follow him. I don't follow him. But all of he comes up on my feed a lot because I follow the Hexologist. And you guys should also be following the Hexologist, obviously. I'm sure you are. But he responds and trolls him a lot. And obviously, when he does, Altcoin Daily's tweets come up on my feed. But it seems like finally people got something out of him. And it was sarcastic, but again, it is indicative of the pressure building. So he's like, what are Hex crypto meetups like? Hey, isn't Richard Hart awesome? Hex is so awesome. Pulsechain is coming. That's going to be awesome. Is there more? Well, that's a good summary. I mean, Yeah, it varies in the wording, but yeah, Richard Hart's awesome. Hex is awesome. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cute, cute. But I liked it and retweeted because I like when people with 1.3 million followers tweet about Hex. And it's funny though because Hexologist, who has only a fraction of the followers, is always ratioing him, which doesn't make any sense unless maybe they're not all real or they're not all active. But the engagement he's getting per following is, or also it could just be that so many people have left the space because of people like Altcoin Daily who've been shilling them garbage as if they're going to get rich off it. And they just obviously got decimated and left all their money on FTX or Celsius and things like that. So basically, they all left, and now they get no engagement on their Twitter. So that could be another reason why they're not getting engagement, aside from fake followers or inactive followers. Could be inactive followers because they made them inactive, right? And also look at Kevin O'Leary, got ratioed hard by RH when he quote tweeted him again because I don't know. If I were following Kevin O'Leary, I wouldn't be doing too well right now. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. What else is going on? We got your friend Sami. He's my friend, and I like him very much. So go follow your friend Sami. Really, really smart guy, and he's killing it on YouTube too. So you could subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. But he's got a tweet talking about a chart comparing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hex, and BNB. Bitcoin is the oldest, slowing down. Ethereum is entering third cycle. BNB is very strong. BNB doesn't. I mean, it's pumped maybe like 100x, but the cool thing is it doesn't dump because they kind of buy it back. And then there's obviously Hex. If Hex catches up, we'll get another 100x from here, which would equal $6 Hex. And I remember he was talking about like 180, maybe 250. Now he's going $6. But I'll tell you one thing: if Pulsechain launches within the next few months and Hex is nearing all-time highs before the bull market even starts, you got to imagine it could go really high. It could go really high. But it's got the pump. It is surpassing ETH. It is flipping ETH from launch. It is surpassing ETH from launch right now. Currently, Hex is doing better than ETH since inception. And it was doing better than ETH for almost the entire beginning, but then there was a brief period of time where it went under, and now it's getting back on track. Although, yeah, BNB, it's not beating since inception. I don't know. And Bitcoin, it's not. But hopefully it'll get right back on. But we're going to see. I mean, you got to consider also a lot of it was probably because of the Pulsechain delays. Could have been if Pulsechain launched in mid-May, it would have been above everything the entire time, like it was originally, except for BNB. And some instances with Bitcoin. Point is the trajectory is good, okay? The trajectory is good. So go like Sami. And then what else do we have? We got, obviously, you guys all saw this. Richard Hart saying that, stage 9 complete. The bug was fixed. It's coming soon. Pulsechain soon. When Pulsechain soon. Pulsechain soon. When Pulsechain very soon. It's syncing. It's syncing the system state. It's syncing. 2 more days. The bug was fixed and it's syncing, and whatever. That's really what it says here. Okay. And then we got a clarification from KDP. I like KDP because it's not just the rah-rah. She's very substantive. So go follow her. she's made up about probably at least 15 to 20% of the content on the show. Who's excited? Aragon bug gone, confirmed. 7 days uptime, 996 gigabyte RAM, massive. They aren't messing around. Laughing, sweaty emoji. Syncing, running smooth. Sweet. Richard Hart logged into GitLab, if you guys even know what that means, but it means we're close. Thing is, he logged in a couple months ago and everyone thought it was close and nothing happened. So, but this time is different. This time is really different because the first time when he said in May and then they pushed it off for E2.0, and I was actually talking about this with somebody I was on a call with, but the first time that happened, Richard Hart, I'm guessing, figured, okay, time is on our side, right? We have 11K Bitcoin. We have time to really change things up and we can get a better network, right? We could switch it from Binance Smart Chain to ETH 2.0. So he did that. But I think we are getting further and further into the bear market. And we're not at the point, like, time is running out, so to speak. I mean, it could take, let's say, theoretically another 3 years and it'll launch in the next bear market. But I don't think anyone in the right mind would think that that's what would happen. And I think there's more of a sense of urgency. There's more of a sense of urgency to get out before things start to heat up. So I think this time is really different. And honestly, I'm kind of even happy that there was this delay, because if it would have came out in May and Bitcoin did another 50% correction, I don't think that would bode well for your PLS tokens. I'm just saying, like, you got locked in with the sacrifice. I'm just saying, like, we got to be realistic here. Okay. So yeah, I think it's close this time. You get in the comments, oh, he's been saying that forever. And then she says, I could be wrong, but it appears the sync is 70% done, leaving 1 to 2 days remaining. After the sync is finalized, there is a few minor tweaks to the Explorer to be done. Richard may tell us V3 is live very soon. Eyes. Hex, 2 more weeks. Yeah, like and retweet that too. There you go, 2 more days. And there was a validation by no other than the hexologist saying it could be released in the next 24 hours. But that was he's got 2 hours left for that call. Exactly 2 hours left. No, 3 hours. He's got 3 hours left. So maybe he's right. But yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So I think we're close, guys. I think we're close to V3 and then maybe 2 more months. But what are you guys saying in the chart? And then we could talk about maybe the article about Richard Hart's followers losing faith in him. I think the faith is stronger than ever. Crypto Stylist. What is going on, Crypto Stylist? Thank you for the really good content. Thank you for the really good content. And thank you for tuning in. And go subscribe to Crypto Stylist if you haven't already. And go follow her on Twitter at Crypto Stylist. Am I following you on Twitter? It's going to be very embarrassing if I'm not. Shit, I'm sorry. But you're not following me, okay? So it's a two-way street here. But I just followed you, and everyone should follow her. She's amazing. I'm feeling shrimpfish at 60,000 hex. So I don't know. Listen, if you're not feeling happy with your bags, now's the time to start really working, like taking those night shifts and weekend shifts at McDonald's or anywhere. because I see a lot of opportunity and you seem to see the same, which is why you're asking. So definitely don't want to cut into this is all not financial advice, guys, if you haven't realized, but you definitely don't want to cut into money that is necessary to maintain your lifestyle, because that'll probably leave you in a bad position because you're going to either EES because you need food or something, or just fud your bags. I don't know. But if there's any time to really start working overtime, getting your hands on money somehow in an honest way that's healthy, whatever, I think now's the time. But I don't know. If Hex does 1,000x, though, you think Hex is another 1,000x, then 60,000 Hex is $6 million? $6 million? So, right? Is that shrimpish? It seems shrimpish now, but is that shrimpish? Why are you all in on the Richard Hart ecosystem? Same reason why you're here. You're probably pretty bullish too. I talked about this earlier, but yeah, I'm very bullish. That's why. Sami is funny as hell. Very true. Very true. He has a great delivery, especially for plebs, which is great. Red face, red heart shape. Oh, thanks for following me, Crypto Stylist. Hey man, how will people take profits after the bridge opens up? Can't convert to stable coins. You absolutely can convert to stable coins. Once the bridge opens up, the stable coins on Ethereum, which have backing, are brought onto Pulsechain, right? So you have on Ethereum, you have stable coins that are either, well, let's just simplify it to USDC, which has a treasury which backs all the stable coins, right? So for every ERC20 USDC that they mint, there is $1 in the Circle treasury, right? Right? So if you ever want, you could take that ERC20 you have of USDC, you can deposit into Circle and they will wire you $1. I mean, that's what a stable coin is. So on Pulsechain, there will also be USDC copied over, but it's not going to have the backing of $1, so it won't be pegged. But once the bridge opens up, you can take that pegged USDC and you can send it into Pulsechain, right? Pulsechain is the bridge, brings it onto Pulsechain. So now you have pegged USDC on Pulsechain, which will probably be pooled. I mean, overwhelmingly likely be pooled with your Pulse or Hex or PulseX, and that's how you could take profits. But yeah, go book a one-on-one. Book your call for free today in the description. But I hope that answers it. Yeah. Take out a loan and pay it back after you get your double. That is called leverage. That is leverage trading. But that is something that people do. It's not something that I would recommend, though. But I'm not a financial advisor, so you're going to have to figure that one out. Could Hex do another 100x in the next bull run? Absolutely. $60,000 Hex at 6 cents is $3,600. So 1,000x. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I said 60,000 as though it was US dollar value. Yes, 1,000x is 3 points. I said 6 mil. I said 60. I don't even know, man. But you're right. Yes, 3.6 million. I'm sorry, man. You're only going to get $3.6 million. You're not going to get $6 million. You're only going to get $3.6 million. That would suck, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be a tragedy? When ETH forked, USDC got nuked and new peg started. There's no peg. There's no peg on ETH. Why would a peg would mean there'd have to be USDC in the treasury for every USDC on ETH, which everyone got for free. So you think Circle would say, let's double our US dollar treasury to back everyone's free stuff. Let's just give everyone free money. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what you mean. I'm probably misunderstanding what you're saying. But obviously, it's not going to have the backing of a dollar. But yeah. So I guess the last thing I'd show, and then I'll go back to the chat. But we got 106 watching. So if you're enjoying the show, make sure you like and subscribe. Consider becoming a Patreon. Links in the description. Got some awesome stuff there. Got some meetings. Got some courses. Got some Discord group, DMs. Awesome stuff. Discounts. Cool stuff. So consider doing that. It helps support me. And I support you. So it helps support me support you. So it really helps support you. And I think you can get a lot of value out of that. And also consider booking a call with me. Links in the description on your time, scheduled on your time. But yeah. So let's get into the next thing, which is Protos. This was actually published, I think, yesterday when Richard Hart had a tweet about the Pulsechain launch. So was it after or before 11:27 a.m.? The tweet by Richard Hart was at 9:35 p.m. So maybe Richard Hart tweeted this in response to this article being published. Although I don't know if he knew I don't know how big Protos is, but that is interesting. Like right after an article is published that people are losing faith and the delays, he publishes an article, a tweet saying exactly what's going on and saying some positive things, some optimistic things. So crypto personality. I'm sure Richard Hart didn't like that. He probably wanted crypto. I called the top on the day. Red Bull 10 fast appreciating asset has delayed the launch of Pulsechain and PulseX for months. Hundreds of millions of dollars in users' funds are inaccessible within sacrifice wallets for the two projects. Ongoing delays have caused finger pointing among Hart's hexagon following from his original ICO, Hex. Pulsechain V3, a testnet, could launch this month. The mainnet launch date remains a mystery. At a Hex conference in January, Hart told an interviewer that development was going really great. He declined to announce a mainnet release date for Pulsechain, nor its on-chain exchange PulseX. Delays are substantial. For instance, Pulsechain first came to light with a July 2021 press release from Everything Blockchain. The statement revealed that Everything Blockchain had a $31 million sacrifice position in Pulsechain. At the time, the launch of Pulsechain was slated to launch at midnight on August 2nd, 2021. It still hasn't launched. At press time, Pulsechain's website says the second version of its testnet is live. Despite the long delay, Hart conveyed confidence that his system was working well, at least in testnet. In January, Hart noted that developers were also testing 4 Pulsechain software clients. Members of the Pulsechain Reddit subforum expressed concerns about Hart's evasiveness ever since he expressed confidence in activating mainnet last month. One user asked what consequences Hart would experience if, for example, he were to never release Pulsechain. Well, there's no expectation from the work of others, so I don't know if there'd be any, but I don't think that's going to happen. Many opine that Hart's ego is too big for failure at releasing Pulsechain. That's true. Critics from other subreddit forums accuse Hart of using misleading logarithmic chart. Its linear charts are misleading. Misleading logarithmic charts to display a flattering price chart of Hex. They noted Hart's increasing need to boost morale among Hexicans whose vamp about inflation and lengthy delays in truth. Hex is still 88% below its all-time high, but it's up 1,000x. That's why the logarithmic chart is the only way to look at an ROI of an investment over a long period of time. You look at Apple in the Wall Street Journal, its all-time chart would be in logarithmic. That's the only way to look at it. Ben Cowan's Bitcoin chart is only in logarithmic. Not only, but when it's long time frames, you need logarithmic. Then someone else called Pulsechain a slow motion rug. Ooh. In Gold Key's thread. He's not going to string it along for eternity. Things are happening. It's ridiculous. And they're saying Pulsechain and PulseX is designed to fail the Howey test. Wow. The Pulsechain website disclaimer says sacrificing tokens to participate in Pulsechain is a political statement, not an expectation of profit for the work of others. Sound familiar? That language harkens to the Howey test. Pulsechain wants users to know that it's not selling securities. Legal experts have indicated that Hex has some earmarks of a security, such as yield-bearing staking program. That, my friend, is because you do not understand the mechanics behind the yield payout. If you did, you would not think it's a security. In fact, you need to pass all 4 legs of the Howey test. Hex fails probably all 4, but definitely 3 out of 4. It's very hard. Yeah, it's impossible to make the argument that Hex is a security. Or Pulse and PulseX. So yeah, this is just, you could already tell they don't really understand how it works. Hex's staking platform offers a suspiciously high return on investment. According to the Hex Alerts Twitter account, some users can earn 50% denominated APY, Hex-denominated APY. On the other hand, Hex's staking scheme includes penalties for early or late withdrawals. For example, one Twitter user claimed to have lost 1/5 of their investment for unstaking their Hex late. Yeah, that's in the code. And everybody knows about it. Everyone knows the rules when you stake. If you unstake early, you get penalized. It's like a CD in that aspect. But it's also interesting because it's blatantly obviously they don't understand the staking. And if you're a casual reader, you'll read that and you'll steer clear of Hex. And you'll miss the opportunity to those that did their research and understood how the staking works and how blockchain technology works. But it is true. It is true. That's why you have to know what you hold. Because if you didn't know what you hold, you could get fudded out by these kinds of things. But you know that the high yield is something that is not a scheme and is only been made possible by, the invention of smart contracts by Ethereum. So, and they go into the subpoenas, blah, blah, blah. Despite his misconduct and aliases, Hartz has his supporters, including early Hex buyers. We're still hoping to profit on their position. Hey, they're already in profits if they're early. It's up over 1,000x from all-time high. Hexicans who sacrifice into Hartz, Pulsechain, and PulseX might still be willing to be patient. However, Hart's remarkably lengthy delays in launching projects aren't promising signs. Let me tell you something. Hex was, I think, a year late, and they did all right, to say the least. But it is interesting that Richard Hart gave the update just shortly after, I guess a couple hours after this article was published. So we'd like to thank Protos for extracting value from Richard Hart and getting him to give us updates that happen to also pump our bags. So let's take a look at the Hex chart again, see where it's going. 6.7. Wow. Look at that. 6.7. Let's get rid of this. You guys see the cup and handle target. We're going for the retest of 7 cents, and hopefully we're going all the way to 11 cents. What would your staking ladder look at 11-cent Hex? It'd be pretty nice, no? Would it be pretty nice? It would be pretty freaking nice. But yeah, let's check out your chats, see what you guys are saying. But just a reminder, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Consider booking a one-on-one. I know you guys have a lot of questions, and I will do my best to answer them in the chat. But you can book a one-on-one with me for free, and I think that'll be better. And also, you can become a Patreon. So all those links are in the description. But I will do my best to answer all your questions because I appreciate you guys tuning in. So, what's going on, everybody? Should we leave the Hex chart? Yeah, we'll bring it back soon. Yandam Hokage, greeting from the Philippines. I love your work. Well, I love you, man. And thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the Philippines. Missed the sacrifice phase on both. Is it going to be better to swap Hex before the bridge for them 2 assets, or buy on day of launch? Swap for the bridge for them. That doesn't make any sense. Is it going to be better to swap before the bridge for them too, or buy it once the bridge opens? Buy it on because on day 1 of launch there's no bridge, so that is before the bridge. So you're saying, is it better to buy it once you can bridge, or is it better to swap your copy? Well, we have to think about this, right? So if you buy Hex now, and you trade and Pulsechain launches, you are trading your P Hex for Pulse and PulseX. So if Pulse and PulseX do better than P Hex, then it is better, meaning since launch, then it is better to swap it for Pulse and PulseX pre-bridge. But if it doesn't, then it's not really better, but we don't know if it's going to do better or not. So it's definitely, and definitely I like Pulse and PulseX. So you definitely want to swap some, or at least that's what I want. I mean, you might not want to do it all at once, but you are getting the free airdrop, and it's probably going to have thick liquidity. So you're probably going to be able to get some Pulse and PulseX. You might want to swap some at once, and then you could DCA some of that PHEX, or you could swap some of it, and then you can bridge in your EHEX and your stable coins, which are backed by dollars. I'm going to be doing all that. But everyone's situation is really different. So yeah, consider booking a call. What's going on, Michelle? Thank you for all your streams. Thank you for tuning in. For out here doing great work again. You're doing great. Thank you, Charles Stone. Michelle. Yes, Furu was great. Agreed. Thank you, Susie Q. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate you tuning in again. And Monica. What's going on, Monica? Okay. Can someone explain T shares to me? I watched the video on the channel, but still not 100%. When I end stake, do I receive my principal yield and then the T share balance? No, you're thinking of it all wrong. You're thinking of it all wrong. You do receive your principal and you do receive your yield. And the principal is obviously what you staked. But the amount that you staked is the principal, right? So you receive that and then you receive the yield. But what is the amount of yield you are receiving, right? How much hex are you receiving on top of your principal? That is determined by how many T shares you own, right? So the more T shares you have, the more yield you are going to earn on top of your principal. Now, what determines how many T shares you have, right? A T share just represents there's inflation of hex, right? There's payouts every day in hex, which includes the 3.69 inflation, and it also includes the emergency end stakes, right? Some of that gets paid out to the T shareholders as well. So there's 3.69 inflation, and there's a payout every day, like we said, 3.69 inflation and emergency end stake payouts. So what determines how much you get? That is, like I said, the amount of T shares you hold. So basically, the total of the inflation and payout and emergency end stakes gets divided evenly among all the T shares, right? So like yesterday was 6.3 payout per T share. So all the inflation plus EES got divided by the outstanding T shares, the total amount of T shares that everyone's holding, right? Am I making this a little bit unclear? The point is that what determines how many T shares you get? There's two things. There's really three, but one is how long you stake. The longer you stake, the more T shares you get. Also, how much you stake. The more you stake, the more T shares you get. So if you go to Hex Daily Stats right now, the T share rate is the T share rate is 26,526 hex. That means you need to stake 26,526 hex for 1 year to get one T share, right? So, what does it mean that longer pays better? So, if you would take that 26,526 hex and stake it for 2 years, you would get more T shares. Instead of getting one, you'd probably get like 1.3. You stake it for 5 years, maybe you'll get like 4 T shares. So, longer pays better. Also, more pays better. So, if you take, so you're staking for a year, 26,526, let's say you double that. Let's say you stake 53,000 hex for 1 year. Then you'll get 2 T shares, right? Because more pays better, right? So the T share is just your share of the payout every day. The more you stake and the longer you stake, the more T shares you get, and therefore the more payout you get every day. That is what it is. When the stake ends, right? That stake ended. So the T shares that were acquired, right, for the amount of hex you staked and the length of stake of hex that you, the length of hex that you staked. When that stake ends, you're not staked anymore, right? When your stake ends, you are no longer staked. So you are no longer entitled to the daily payout, which means your T shares are gone. So when the stake's over, there are no more T shares. You just get your principal plus the yield from staking. But if you restake it, then you get T shares back. And how much T shares do you get? That also depends how much and how long, how much of that principal and interest and how long you stake it. I hope that sort of answers it, but I hope you become a Patreon, and I hope you book a call. But Hope it's good. Hope that's good. Great expectations. Oh man, see, this really makes me happy. Awesome, thanks. I finally understand it. I love when people understand things. Um, I love when people understand things. Um, and Johnny Chaos says, under a year, at a year, you get a bonus 0.2 T-shares. So the T-share rate, when it says you need 26,000, how long do you need to stake that for? So you get 1.2 T-shares per year, up to 10 years max. Okay. But Johnny Chaos is in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, Johnny Chaos. And you guys, we're still releasing clips from that epic interview with Johnny Chaos. But yeah. What else is going on? I wonder if waiting for a Cybertruck makes Tesla. Yeah, very true, very true. And the answer is T-shares stop increasing after 10 years. So does that mean that you should not stake for more than 10 years? No, because from year 10 to 15, you are earning that maximum rate. So you're earning that maximum rate for an extra 5 years, right? If you only stake 10 years, then you get the max payout for 10 years. And then you unstake, then for the next 5 years, if you stake it for the next 5 years, you're not going to get that max payout. But if you just leave it staked for an extra 5 years, you're getting the maximum payout, if that makes sense. But that's not to say you should only do 15-year stakes. You should do 10, 13, 14, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Brandon Macy says, Hex stakers get paid inflation to hold for a specific amount of time. Bitcoin miners get paid inflation to SHA all day long and pay an energy company. Yes, very true. And we got a super chat from King Gubby Design, $5. Thanks for keeping people informed, brother. Thank you. Appreciate the generous donation of $5, King Gubby Hub. Very much appreciate that. You're keeping the show going, man. So really, thank you very much. Yeah. What else do we have? What ERC20s are you holding into the fork besides RH coins? I was holding stables, but I am not holding stables anymore. I mean, maybe I'm holding a little bit, very, very, very little, because stables are not going to appreciate in value, right? US dollar is not going up between now and Pulsechain launch, or between now and ever, but Hex does. So Hex can get you more buying power. At the same time, Hex can also go down in value between now and Pulsechain launch. So there is risk to the upside. There is risk to the upside as well as to the downside. But I think just in general, I think I said Hex is bottomed. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but it really sure seems like that. And I'm not just saying it. I'm saying it based on, metrics that I speak about a lot. But so I personally think that it's better to be more Hex heavy, in my opinion, obviously. But oh, I'm sorry. Not for 1 year. 26,526 for 1 day. My bad. Sorry about that. 1 year would be 2 to 3 T-shares worth. There you go. Okay. We got 107 watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're about to rip through 7 cents. Let's see. Hope so. We just need that mainnet launch announcement. 6.8. Let's see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely looking good. PulseX just lurking. Appreciate Johnny Chaos always being here. Always there to tell me when I'm wrong or when I'm right. But yeah. If you make a stake and it's 0.333 of a T share, staking for 10 years will now equal one whole T share. No, your T share is always the same. The payout per T share always goes up, right? Because it's 3.69 inflation divided by the T shareholders, which means that it compounds. So if you have 1,000 hex and 3.69, like there's a total of 1,000 hex in circulation, and there's 3.69 inflation. The first time it's 3.69% of 1,000, but then it's 3.69 of 1,003.69. So, and then the next year it's 3.69% of that. So if the amount of T shares outstanding stays more or less the same, then the payout keeps going up. But if the amount of T shares outstanding goes up, then the payouts won't go higher, but at the same time, the price will probably moon because that means a lot of people are locking up. So it's kind of a win-win. But you have to also take into account the fact that the T share rate is up and to the right. So it's going to be very hard, even with more stakers coming in, to significantly increase the amount of T shares outstanding. Although, if let's say Hex goes viral, I mean, who knows? So could go one of many ways. Any ERC20 in the top 100, 200 would be good old ratio trader for PulseX. Not necessarily true. That would depend on the thickness of the liquidity, right? Because if there's not much liquidity provided, then if you ratio trade, your trade is going to push the price against you, right? So if you want to buy Hex with, let's say, Chainlink, and there's no big whales, providing liquidity with Chainlink, then you could be eating a lot of slippage and therefore not getting as good of a rate. That makes sense. But that's why I think the Hex pair is probably the best pair. But you're saying there are better pairs. I don't know. I don't think so. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Pulse or PLSX. Can't imagine anyone else. Like, who's going to provide liquidity? Let's say the OA and all the whales, all the Hex whales, they're going to LP, Hex, Pulse, PulseX. Are there going to be any Chainlink whales out there, to provide liquidity? They probably haven't bought into the system. Like, they don't have buy-in to the system, so they're probably not going to be out there LPing. So I don't know. I mean, it's just hard for me to imagine there's going to be another pair, but I don't know. And Maddie Crypto is in the chat. Party people, good to see so many familiar faces. Good to see you. I don't even remember the sevens. The 7 cent. Where are we at right now? We're at 6.9. Johnny Chaos once said, those who wait for a penny will buy at a nickel. He was wrong. They're going to buy at 7 cents. So Johnny Chaos was wrong. Yeah. All kidding, though. All kidding aside. It's a good thing I DCA'd. Yeah, so agreed, no stables. Just curious about Chainlink and others that might be hot. So that's the thing. If you understand liquidity pools, the more liquidity pairings that's provided, the harder it is to create slippage. And, if there are whales that are into the Pulse chain launch, if there are, let's say, Chainlink whales that could provide a lot of pairings for Chainlink, then you might even get a better rate than Hex, but I doubt that that's going to happen. But I don't know. World's largest free airdrop, right? If it's the world's largest free airdrop and they see all this free Chainlink, they might say, "Hey, let's LP this." But I don't know. It's more of a certainty. It's more of a certainty that the Hex is going to have a thick liquidity. But Johnny Chaos will correct me if I'm wrong, because he is the Zen master of liquidity pools. So the 10th degree black belt, saying beware of the fake airdrops through 500 pads. Yeah, beware of that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear they stole your tokens. Johnny Chaos says, there are some big players gobbling up the weak hands. They can't buy all at once, so they are nibbling. True. I also said those that didn't cash it at a nickel are going to buy it at a dime. There you go. The Pulse Tube, talking to Johnny Chaos. Did you see the tweet about you choosing the next classic Richard Hart stream? Not sure you saw the bit of the tweet. Well, if I had to choose my favorite, I know I'm not being asked, but my favorite Richard Hart stream, I don't know. I've just watched so many of them that it's all kind of like a blur, but there are a lot of great moments. Not talking about his streams, but his two of the greatest things, his greatest contributions to crypto, not including coins, but just ideas. His two biggest discoveries were, according to me, market cap being a vanity metric and Hart's Law, which I did a video on, which you guys could check out. Hart's Law was huge, which was awesome. So Hart's Law, market cap being a vanity metric. Those are kinds of clips, if we're talking about making TikToks, like, people would find it very meaningful. Even people that aren't in Hex, and that could potentially onboard them. But we got 88 watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and go to the description and book a one-on-one with me today. What else was there? Oh, guys, before I forget, I'm going to be on with Abit Hex at 7 p.m. Eastern time today. You guys could tune in and go check that out. It's going to be fun. But so please check that out. If you're enjoying the show, 83 watching, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications. But yeah, I guess final call if you guys have any questions. If not, we can call it a day. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. And King Gubby Design, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Like, subscribe, book a free one-on-one, link in the description with me. Schedule at your own time at furufinance.com, furufinance.com. Go become a Patreon for great benefits, access, memberships, things like that. And I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And no, I will see you tonight. I'm sorry. I will see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Abit Hex's show. But then I'll see you at 12 p.m. tomorrow at our regular scheduled show. But have a great rest of your day.